For years, Phil Taylor and Michael Van Gerwen have been the gold standard in darts, the legends, the ones everyone else is measured against. But now, there's a name that refuses to be ignored: Luke Humphries.
Not really. Phil, like I just said, Phil would do this game in, game out. I have 1 out of 5 of them games, so you can't compare me to Phil, never.
James Wade says only Taylor and maybe Van Gerwen have been better world champions than Humphries. Gary Anderson believes he's overlooked and deserves more respect. Even Glenn Durrant and Dan Dawson are debating whether he's the best in the world right now. And Humphries, he's staying humble. Their opinions are amazing, they fill me with confidence, but Taylor and MVG, they'll always be above me. Yet, the results tell a different story. His recent performances speak for themselves. In the Betfred World Match Play Final, on the grandest stage of them all, and when it mattered most, he dropped the hammer. Humphries went head-to-head with Michael Van Gerwen to lift the Phil Taylor Trophy for the first time. The energy was electric from the moment they stepped onto the Winter Garden stage. Van Gerwen, the 3-time champion, came out firing, breaking throw in the very first leg. Humphries, though, fired straight back. Despite outscoring his opponent early on, Humphries let key chances slip, allowing Van Gerwen to hold a narrow 3-2 lead at the first interval. But after the break, it was all Humphries. Back-to-back legs put him in front, a ruthless ball finish broke Van Gerwen's throw for the 3rd straight time, and by the next interval, he was in control at 6-4. Van Gerwen wasn't going away quietly. The Dutchman clawed his way back, breaking again, but Humphries answered with a stunning 141 checkout. Every time Van Gerwen thought he had an opening, Humphries slammed the door shut. By the next break, Humphries had widened the gap, 9-6. It was becoming a masterclass in composure. Even when Van Gerwen started finding his range, even when he hit ton-plus finishes back-to-back, even when he threatened to steal the momentum, Humphries stood firm. A cold-blooded 86 finish kept him in the lead at 13-12. And then, in a moment that summed up the entire match, Van Gerwen wired double top for a massive 160 checkout to draw level, a lifeline. But when he returned, he missed 3 clear darts at double 10. Humphries didn't blink. 1 leg away from the title, 1 more push, more missed chances from Van Gerwen, and then double-double 100. Game, set, match. Luke Humphries had just written his name in history.
His 3rd time lucky. Another in there. Oh, Luke Humphries wins it! Unbelievable from Coleman!
And not just by beating Michael Van Gerwen in a high-stakes thriller. No, this was something rarer, something only the greatest have ever done. Humphries followed in the footsteps of Phil Taylor himself, delivering a performance so dominant that only the power had achieved it before. Averaging over 100 in every single match of the tournament, that's the kind of feat that turns a great player into a legend. Humphries opened with a blistering 108.78 average against Ricardo Pietreczko. He followed that with a 102.34 against Stephen Bunting. When the competition got tougher, he didn't waver, 101.21 against Dimitri van den Berg, 100.64 against James Wade, and 100.94 in the final against MVG, 101.80 for the tournament. This level of sustained excellence across 5 rounds has only ever been matched by one man, Phil Taylor. The 16-time world champion pulled it off in 3 separate editions, 2010, 2011, and 2013, setting the bar with jaw-dropping numbers, including a tournament-high average of 106.3 in 2010. And now, Humphries joins that exclusive club. And this is the worldwide discussion right now. Is Luke Humphries the best in the world? James Wade certainly thinks so. The 3-time major champion didn't hold back, calling Humphries special and saying that only Phil Taylor and maybe Michael Van Gerwen have been better world champions. Gary Anderson echoed the sentiment, insisting Humphries is often overlooked and deserves more respect. Humphries, though, he says, "Their opinions are really amazing. They fill me with great confidence. They are 2 legends of the game," Humphries said. But I watched James's comments where he said I could be the 2nd best ever, but probably not. Phil and Michael will always be above me, and honestly, he has a point. For Humphries, it's never been about chasing records or trying to match Taylor and MVG. He's focused on winning titles, growing the sport, and delivering unforgettable performances for the fans. "I don't look too much into what the media says," he admitted. "I'm just happy to win titles." But the numbers don't lie. Humphries has already secured 8 major titles. Only Wade, 10, Van Gerwen, 47, and Taylor, 92, have more. And yet, he doesn't see himself ever reaching their level. I will never achieve what they achieved. If I do in 20 years, I'd be incredibly shocked. The level Phil was at, the level Michael was at from 2012 to 2018, I don't think that will be matched. Maybe he's right. Maybe no one will ever touch Taylor's 16 world titles or Van Gerwen's 6-year reign of dominance. But if history tells us anything, it's that every great champion eventually faces their biggest rival. For Humphries, that rival has a name: Luke Littler. A friendly yet fiercely competitive battle is brewing, and Phil Taylor himself has issued a warning to Humphries: stay sharp, stay fit, and stay ready because the nuke is coming.
I don't want to put him off, because at the end of the day, if I do things like that that I've had against me, I'm trying to do things that's not natural. I'd rather beat him at his best, and I think he'd rather beat me at his best.
Ever since their epic clash at Ali Pali, the two Lukes have been the names to beat. They've traded blows on the Euro Tour, the World Series, and the Players' Championship finals. And now, as the World Championship is going on, Taylor sees something ominous on the horizon. If Humphries isn't on top of his game, the crown will go to Littler, Taylor warned. You can put your money on it, and your mortgage on it. He will become world #1 soon. At just 18 years old, Littler has already won the Grand Slam of darts and is showing the same hunger that once made Taylor himself untouchable. Luke isn't motivated by money, he just likes winning, Taylor added. So when he goes into the World Championships, the £500,000 for the winner won't even enter his head. Taylor, who dominated darts for 3 decades, winning 16 world titles, knows what it takes to build a legacy. With what he is doing, some people agree with it and some don't, the way he chills out. Luke does his 10 or 15 minutes of practice before a game and then he is done. If it suits him, then carry on, because whatever he is doing is working for him. And that's the thing about Littler. He doesn't approach the game like anyone else. He just steps up, throws darts, and wins. It's a mindset that's dividing opinions, but when you're winning like he is, who's going to argue? As for Humphries, Taylor believes his chances at Ali Pali depend on more than just talent. It all depends on how he feels, because it's a funny time of the year. The weather is dropping, the temperature is always cold, and you get all the viruses coming out. The colds, the flu, everything. Taylor explained, as long as he goes in there all fit and healthy, he's got every chance of retaining it. It depends on the draw as well, who gets in the first and second round, and so on. There's a lot more to it than just playing darts. But let's be real, everyone's looking at Littler. Many believe he's the biggest threat to Humphries, the one most likely to stop him from going back to back. But Humphries isn't going to give up his throne that easily. He's proving that time and time again, when it matters most, he delivers. Just look at what happened in Exeter. Cool Hand finally broke his Premier League curse against Littler, securing a hard-fought 6-4 victory in the Night 4 final.
That could afford Humphries a second visit from here. He might not need it. Match start Humphries. Coolham's in the final once again. It is a brilliant burst from Humphries.
Littler had dominated their previous 6 meetings in the competition, but Humphries flipped the script when it counted, showing exactly why he's the world #1. It wasn't just a one-off win either. Humphries bulldozed his way through a stacked lineup, beating Gerwen Price, Rob Cross, and Littler all in one night. That second victory of the campaign, after his earlier triumph in Belfast, gave him a comfortable 7-point lead at the top of the BetMGM Premier League standings. And it was about how he won. Against Price, he punished 6 missed darts in a tense finale. Against Cross, he pulled off 3-ton-plus checkouts when the pressure was at its highest, nailing a 121, 167, and 116 to clinch a deciding leg thriller. Littler came out firing, producing a stunning 144 checkout and back-to-back 14 dart legs to race to a 3-1 lead. The teenager looked unstoppable, but Humphries wasn't going to let history repeat itself. When Littler squandered 4 darts to go 4-1 up, Humphries seized his moment. He clawed his way back with a blistering 11-darter in the 6th leg and then punished Littler's missed chances with back-to-back 13-dart legs to take the win. Under the pressure of a crucial final, Cool Hand proved once again why he's the man to beat. It was hard work tonight, but it felt good, Humphries admitted after averaging 101 and landing 6 180 scores. Luke played fantastically tonight, but he didn't play as great in the final, and I managed to put my foot on the gas right at the end. That's the first time I've beaten Luke in the Premier League, so it's nice to get that monkey off my back. Now, with night 5 in Brighton looming, Humphries sits comfortably 7 points clear of Littler at the top of the Premier League standings, but things are far from settled. And if we talk about the recent incident between Wade and Humphries, was it a total clash or just a mishap? Because right now, it's looking like Humphries is having some serious anger issues. Didn't deserve my respect. That's what Humphries posted and later deleted after his heated quarter-final defeat to James Wade at the UK Open. It all started with some bizarre mind games before the match even began. Wade appeared to lick Humphries on the neck during their pre-match handshake. From there, the tension only escalated. When the match reached its deciding leg, there was no handshake, no fist bump, just two players locked in a mental and physical battle. And then Wade, as if fueled by the tension, unleashed 6 180 degrees in 3 legs to take the win 10-9. Humphries, clearly frustrated, gave a slight shoulder barge as they crossed paths after the match. And then came the now deleted tweet, "Everyone loves to see people be a bad loser, but I'm generally one of the best losers in the sport." I wasn't going to give someone who didn't deserve my respect after what he was doing through the game a hug and be all happy about it. That's just my honesty. Wade, unbothered as ever, responded with a masterclass in veteran wisdom. It's all about timing. As soon as these young darts players realize it's not about these big 100 averages, it's about timing the right things at the right time. Unfortunately, they'll learn off me, and there's going to be more of them. I move on, and Luke doesn't, but he'll probably win another 2 or 3 TV majors this year. But while Wade got the better of Humphries, he ran into a brick wall in the final. Luke Littler. The teenager demolished him 11-2, making it clear that he was there to dominate. It's ironic, really. Wade had been one of Humphries' biggest defenders, claiming he was the best player in the world and that Littler only got so much attention because of his age. But ahead of the tournament, he switched his tone, calling the current era overhyped. And just like that, the debate rages on. Is this the strongest era in darts? Are we seeing the best players ever? Or is it all just hype?
I'm still new to the sport, still learning. You know, I'm just going to go out and enjoy that tomorrow. But of course, if I can play like I can, then I know I can win it. You know, and that's important. If you don't believe you can win it, you won't. But I really do believe I can win.
For years, Taylor was the undisputed king of darts, setting records that seemed untouchable. But Humphries just sent a message loud and clear. The new generation is here to make history of their own. With every clutch finish, every ice-cold checkout, and every moment of pure composure under pressure, Humphries proved that he belongs among the greats. And if this is just the beginning, one has to wonder, how far can he go? If you love watching history being made in the world of darts, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment below.